Okay, friends, let's look at this a different way. In case you didn't like kind of the wordiness of the way I did that little T table there, or that truth table, let me show you a different way. Using something called a Venn diagram, named after a guy named John Venn, an old English logician. Let's look at the if you get straight A's, then I'll buy you a car. But let's look at it through the lens of how those statements live in the universe of all statements. So this chalkboard right here, it's pretty abstract to think of it this way. But this chalkboard is going to represent all possible statements that you could make. Like, if I eat chocolate, then I'll be happy. Or if I take a picture of my son, then I'll probably print it and hang it up there. You can't see that. Or if I go through the attic, I might find more VHS tapes that I can bring to work and watch as I change on my commute, that kind of stuff. But the ones we're going to look at are if you get straight A's, or if I get straight A's, then my dad will buy me a car, or whatever that one that I said was. Okay, so there's probably lots of reasons why someone would buy someone a car. Maybe because they need it, maybe because their other car broke down, or there's lots of reasons. So I would think that the statement, if you get straight A's, is more tiny. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to call this A for if you get straight A's. Now, the circle is irrelevant. It's just I'm giving it a size in the universe of all statements. I mean, technically speaking, it probably should be a lot smaller, but that just make it a circle. Then I'll buy you a car. Now, what I'm going to do with this one, this is where it gets interesting. I'm going to draw the car circle like this. And the reason I'm going to do this is, your dad has told you, if you get straight A's, he's going to buy you a car. So as long as you can get yourself into this circle, which means true, you're in that circle, then you're automatically in the car circle. As I was editing the first video, I realized I probably should have said something else about this car circle too. So this is the if you get straight A's part. Everything else in this circle would be other reasons your dad would have that he would still buy you a car. He might not have said them, but maybe he would, maybe one of these circles would be, he feels bad for you. Or because it's Thursday. Or because he got your sibling a car and therefore he's going to buy you one too. I'm not saying these reasons have to make sense. I'm just saying that because the car, I will buy you a car circle is larger than the if you get straight A circle, that means there's clearly got to be other reasons he would buy you a car besides just getting straight A's. This is the one he told you. The other ones are the ones he didn't tell you. Just wanted to make sure I cleared that up. I mentioned that earlier, but I didn't mention it right here. I don't want to make that connection. Let's go back. So that makes the first line of the truth table make sense. And hopefully that makes perfect sense to you, right? That makes perfect sense to you. If you can get in this circle, then you're automatically in this circle. Okay? The next line should now make sense as to why it's false. Because if you're in this circle, i.e. it's true that you got straight A's, then you're already in this circle, he bought you a car. If he doesn't buy you a car, whoops, no car, that means you're outside of that big circle. Well, that doesn't make any sense. You're in here. That means you're in the car circle. So that hopefully makes a little more sense as to why the next line is false. Hopefully. Now, let's say you don't get the straight A's, which means you're no longer in here. Hopefully, this explains why both of the remaining two are true. Because if you're not in here, you're either here or you're here. Which means if you don't meet your part, your dad might get you a car or might not, but since you didn't meet your part, either one is valid. The only one that's invalid is if you meet your part and he doesn't meet his. That's the only one that's invalid. Hopefully that explains fairly well why that second line is false. Everything else has to be true because you have to kind of shrug and be like, Dad's not on the hook for the other two. If I don't meet my part, He could or couldn't meet his part, but I can't fault him for whatever he does then. So hopefully, if the paragraphy way I explained it up top doesn't work, hopefully this makes it a little more sense.